Well, hello YouTube, this is Chuck, and it's Friday, September 20th, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see where I'm at. I'm at Bisbee Fire Department. They call their station 81 and 82, and so I'm at Station 81, which is their headquarters station, and folks here gave me a good tour and appreciate their hospitality, and they weren't real interested in being on camera, so I figured I'd just talk a little bit about the unique nature of their trucks, because their area up there in the Upper Canyon in Old Bisbee, they got some real steep roads and narrow roads and tight places to get, and they spec their truck specialty for that. And I wanted to show you a couple of them and kind of talk a little bit about it. Got a little bit of wind noise here. Hope it's not too bad. But, take a look at this engine here. You can see they have a real. They specify these very short coupled trucks. This one's got a 750-gallon tank, and so you notice they got a real short approach angle and a pretty tight departure angle and a pretty short wheelbase, two-person cab. They use the top mount pump control panels, and the reason for that is some of their places are so narrow there's no place for the pump operator to stand alongside the truck, so getting them up on top of the truck gives them a place to stand. And they use the roll-up doors because there's places they don't even have enough room to open doors. But they got this one here, and then they got another one very similar to it over here. And the one truck is the one they run out of the other station up the canyon, and they're actually here right now. There's nobody at their other station. So this is their newest rig, and it's got a 1,000-gallon tank. If you notice, it's a little bit longer than the other one. But they still got those real short couple trucks, real short turning radius, so they can get up in those things. And the guys here were telling me about where they can go and where they can't go, and they can go practically anywhere up and down those little narrow streets. And the wife and I went for a ride yesterday, and my truck's sitting right over there, and we got in some places I thought were pretty tight for my truck, and I can just imagine how tight they would be trying to get a fire truck up in there. But they run out of this station. They got a conventional engine in there as well, and out of this station, I'm into the sun a little too much. Out of this station, they normally have, the department normally has 7 on duty. They have 5 here and 2 at the other station. But this station here was about 30 years old. The other station is actually the old one. I'm going to try to get up there a little bit later on and see if I can talk a little bit about that other historic station, because that one was built in 1914. It's been in constant service ever since then. But the folks here at Bisbee Fire, they run, like I say, 2 fire stations, and they run the ambulance, and they stay pretty busy. They run about 1,500 calls a year, they tell me. So I don't know whether I'm going to run this as a standalone video or whether I'm going to tag it onto something else. I'm going to try to visit the fire station here, I think. There's actually a good parking spot right here. I'll be back with you. Well, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck, and it's Sunday, September 22nd, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you never guess where I'm at. Look familiar? Yeah, I'm in a fire station. I'm actually in old Bisbee Station 2, and now they call it Station 82. But look at the old pole in the corner. They don't use it anymore. But that thing up on the wall right there, if you want to pause it and take a look at it, they used to have a box alarm system here. And this station, let me get around where I can talk to you. This station has been in continuous service as a fire station since 1914. It's the oldest continuously operated fire station in Arizona, and probably one of the older ones in the country. And folks on duty here today, I knocked on the door and they welcomed me in, and they gave me a tour and told me I could shoot a little video of the place, and they don't necessarily want to be on camera, and that's fine. But this station's been remodeled quite a bit over the years. So let me turn you around here, and obviously we started out in the day room, and we got a little kitchen over here. And then this is kind of the watch room, and there's an extra bed in there. So let's go down the stairs here, and let me show you downstairs. This is quite Quite an interesting place. If you can imagine, if the walls could talk. Now the first part of this video, when I was over at their other fire station, I talked about their trucks, and actually this engine here was there, but things are pretty tight here. Look how tight that is. And they specify their trucks for this real tight area here. You know, they got a bunch of stuff shoehorned in here. They got an ambo in here, and the Bisbee engines, and I talked about it in the other video, that they use a top mount pump control panel. And the reason why they do that is because some of the streets are so narrow, there's no place for a pump operator to stand. They also use the roll-up compartment doors. They actually have an extra squad truck, and even have a side-by-side stuck back here. So they've got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff stuck back in a very, very small area. And let me walk outside here, and there's the front door. That's how they get everything out the door. Let me walk outside and give you a shot of the outside of the place. There's where that pole comes down at. The other day over at the other station, they told me they're actually talking about replacing that pole. Oops. I'll unlock the door here. Being the Sunday afternoon, things are pretty quiet around here. But, there's the front. If you notice, this is the Tombstone Canyon. This is the creek, and they actually pull out of the station and pull right across this bridge to get to the road. Well, there's what the place looks like from the outside. Isn't that a gorgeous old facility? I got some historical pictures that I took, and I'll plug those in here, and I'll be back with you here again in a little bit. Well, there's quite a bit more to that story that I started to tell you, and I didn't like the way it was turning out. So I'm back home now. So let me tell you a little bit more about that Bisbee Fire Station. When I was over at the main station, Station 81, one of the guys over there said when I went to the Station 82, the old station, that be sure and ask about Frank. And so they told me a little bit about what happened, what the deal was with Frank. Frank was a firefighter that actually worked at that station for many years. And one morning when he was supposed to show up for work, he didn't show up for work. And so the guys went over to the house to check on him. And they found that he'd apparently died. And Frank was a pretty dedicated employee, so he didn't let a little thing like dying getting in the way of him going to work. So basically, Frank is a ghost. And he hangs out at that fire station. And so when I went over there, I asked about him. Well, the crew that was the two-person crew that was on duty there, they acted like they didn't want to talk about that too much. And I think maybe they might be just a little bit on the superstitious side. But anyway, what they told me is they said, well, he doesn't come around when we're here. He doesn't like us. He comes around when the other shifts are there. And so I didn't push the issue, and they obviously didn't want to talk about it. But during the course of the station tour they were giving me, on the back hallway at that station, there's separate rooms for each firefighter has a separate room. Well, we went by one of the rooms, and the crewman that was giving me the tour there, he said, "This is Frank's room." Okay. So I stepped in there and I looked around a little bit, and not a very big room, but there was enough room for a mattress, and a bed and a mattress, and plain mattress, no bedding on it, and a little desk seating area there, and nothing else in that room. And it looked like that room had not been touched in a long, long time. So the crew that was there, they didn't want to talk about it too much. The other guys at the other station told me that every once in a while, in the middle of the night, they'll hear somebody walking around in the station and coming up and down the stairs or closing a door or something like that. And they say that's just old Frank. And he's been on duty at that station, even though he passed away many years ago. So I thought that was a pretty cool story, and I wanted to bring you that part of the addendum as well. And I very much appreciated the hospitality at both of the Bisbee Fire Department stations I visited. And that old station, I don't know why, but that old station just kind of felt good, felt comfortable, and you could just, as I said before, you could just kind of feel the history when you walked in the place. And I thought that was all pretty darn cool. And so let me close as I always do and tell you to take care of each other and love each other. And I'm back home now, and I'm not sure when I'll get this uploaded, but I wanted to shoot this ending on it just to kind of put a postscript to the story. So until I talk to you again, there's nothing more to do but just to tell you, peace out.